Saturday evening reading. I'm going to start out this reading for a Natina and a Shah. Natina has asked the question, how is my love life evolving? I want to meet a long-term supportive partner. Thus, and thus far, that person hasn't arrived. And Shah has asked the question, do you see my situation changing? My life has been stagnant. Are things going to change? And so we're going to start here with this question. I hope I haven't already read on this question, but we're going to use this singles and relationship oracle deck by designed by Empath Soul called What's Blocking You. And so we're just going to look at what and asking the question, how is Natina's love life evolving? And so I'm only going to be on for a short time today because I started so late. And hello, Maria. Hello. So we're going to start here. This is an upright only deck, though the cards are in there every which way. You don't feel like she likes you? Okay. All right, I will read that question after Natina, and then I go on to the other one, Shaw, the leftovers from the last reading. So we're going to start here with Natina. How is Natina's love life evolving? How is Natina's love life evolving? What is going on in Natina's love life? Interesting. Interesting. So it doesn't seem as though your love life is moving at all. And you have a lot of anxiety about this. You have a lot of anxiety about meeting your future someone. But do you have somebody in your life already? And is it that what I see here is kind of interesting is that you're it's almost like you have somebody in your life, but this person doesn't measure up to your ideal of who your Mr. Right should be. And so you're dragging your heels on it. So maybe this person has even proposed to you. That it's possible that a proposal is on its way, but your love life doesn't seem to be evolving according to what you feel where you should be at. Thank you, Maria. And so it might be that you are trying to change this person into who you want them to be, but then that doesn't work because you can't change them or they can't change you, and it builds up lots of anxiety around this whole husband thing of wanting this whole husband. And then there's this sense of hidden feelings. And are you hiding? Somebody in this relationship is hiding their feelings from the other person, dragging the feet, working on trying to change them into somebody else, because change them into this person that hasn't arrived yet, this person that you're looking for. So I'm asking the question to Tina. I don't know. I don't know if you are in a relationship, but it kind of almost appears like you are in some kind of a relationship. You're trying to meet that long-term person. You don't feel like this person is your long-term person, but they just may be, Natina. And let me just go take a look. We're going to look at the bottom card here. Thank you. And so what sits on the bottom here is something about getting hurt. Is that a fear of getting hurt? The other person is afraid of getting hurt? All love comes with a risk of losing it. Don't be afraid to floss. Take a chance. Don't be afraid of loss. Don't try to change them. Stop procrastinating. If you are with a person right now, this person just might be your Mr. Right. Okay, that's what I got for you. Please come back and ask another question later, or Tina, better yet, please leave a comment on this reading. I don't even know if I'm even remotely in the ballpark. So I am going to write down the 2 questions that came in. I have 2 questions that came in. Okay, good. We got a career. We have 2 things. We have Maria. So we're going to put this one over here. Maybe I got to bring my dog into the room here. Let's come back here. Why don't we just ask a question on your boss? I think, Maria, you haven't healed from this relationship. You're asking the question, does my new boss like me? And that says she. She, okay. I would highly recommend. I am something of a reader, Karen. I guess I'm a reader. I don't know. We're going to be looking at. Then we have this LCYY-J2J. And we're looking at a general career. So, Karen, I am a reader for the next. I'm a reader for the next 1 hour. I'm a reader for the next 1 hour. That's what I am. Because I'm bumping up against dinner time. It's 5:30 here, and 6:30 is when I start to get in trouble with the other people in the house because I'm the cook. So Maria, as far as your love life is concerned, I really, really urge you to give yourself some time to heal from Philip. If Philip comes back, Philip comes back. If Philip doesn't come back, then Philip doesn't come back. And so what I am going to recommend you to do, on top of nature, I'm going to recommend that you learn some form of dance. If your body can handle it, Learn some. I'm sure that probably polka is out, but waltz. Go learn ballroom dancing. Go learn some kind of a collar-based form like contradance. Contradance is a European form. I mean, learn. So yeah, okay. Well, you can go back to mass. I mean, you can do that. Welcome reentry. So that's my recommendation for you. While you are learning who you are, Maria, learn social dance. Go learn social dance. It's physical. You'll be around lots of people, the opposite sex, the same sex, or whatever that you're opposite sex. You might even meet another partner, but that's not the point of going social dancing. The point of social dancing is to learn how to have fun in a social environment, to talk to other people, to have controlled touching, controlled touching, touching in a very controlled environment. And it's physical activity. There's music. If you go to a place that has live music, it's live music. If it's like some folk dancing form, it'll most likely have live music. And you hang around people that are kind of fun to be around with for a couple hours a week or a couple hours a month. So if you are a person who's healing from a broken heart, or you have an anxiety problem, or you have some kind of a issue that you can't get past, the things that you need to work on is social dancing is one of the best tools that you can do. Or, go running. If you are that type of person, do a sport. If you're not a dance person, do a sport. If you're a sports person, do a sport. Do that. Some kind of a physical activity that you do with other people. Because a physical activity thing is great because it will bring you into the present tense, into the now. And in the now is where healing happens. And I'm going to get off my soapbox here in just a second. Physical activity. So it's not like join the chess club, but yeah, but maybe. But the thing with the physical, whether it be like dancing or sport, is that coming into the present tense moment. Because if you can bring your body through physical activity into the present tense moment, you're not thinking about the past, because you're just thinking about this moment, and you're not thinking about tomorrow, that anxiety of tomorrow. If you can come in just for a little while every day or every week, come into a place where you are only right here, right now. If you have insomnia, if you have, whatever, some kind of whatever ailment you have that is like non-physical ailment, when you come into this moment, into this present moment, where you're not thinking about the past and you're not thinking about the present, you're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about your problems, you're just here. And especially if it's fun, you will have a reprieve, a rest from your problems for just a moment. And sometimes that's all you need in order to gain new perspective on your life. Okay, all right. That's my soapbox. That's what I got. All right. I'm going to go move on to these questions, and we're going to see how many questions we can get to in the next 40 minutes, in the next 40 minutes. I'm going to have to get up in just a second and turn the TV on to a news channel for my mother. So we will do I see this situation changing? Okay, we're going to go on with Shaw here. Trooper, love you. Okay. I almost put on my thumbnail a picture of me when I was in my 20s with a love. I think there's another question that came in before here. Was it reentry? I want to write down all the questions and then we're going to go for it. And try to get through as many of these. Okay, Prudence. I didn't see, the Karen didn't come in here. Yeah, on the thumbnail, it is a picture. On the thumbnail was me when I was in high school. Prudence. PRUDENCENDOTI 9074, and it does Trooper love me. I had a dog named Trooper a long time ago. That's that one. There's reentry. So I'm gonna just because I got so many here, I'm gonna have to try and go fast. I'm not gonna. Let's go reentry. So you want a general vision? Are you going in the right direction? So if you are most likely reentry, you are, unless you're like hooked on drugs and alcohol and things like that. You probably, if you're hooked on drugs and alcohol, you're probably going in the wrong direction. But if you're not hooked on drugs and alcohol, you're probably going in the right direction. So let's go to Shaw. And Shaw wants to know if, you know what, I'm going to use this deck here. I'm going to use an Oracle deck for Shaw. And so Shaw wants to know what's going on in his life. His life seems to be stagnant. What's going on in Shaw's life? What is going on in Shaw's life? What is going on in Shaw's life? Let's find out what is going on in Shaw's life. Okay, all right. So everybody in the chat, please pray for Pepe the Robber. Let's go find let's see what this deck has to say. Huh. Well, look. It looks like what's going on in your life. There might be a marriage coming on in your life, Shaw. Marriage, if you're not already. Maybe you're already married and you feel like you're stuck. But what it seems to be is that there's a transformation coming on the horizon. It just may be that this stagnancy that you feel is this great learning period that you have to go through, like a desert experience, the desert experience. And so just a quick recap. If we look at if we go over here to the Jesus experience, and one of the Jesus experiences is Jesus kicks off his ministry by being baptized. He goes out into the desert, or for like a vision quest experience. And the desert is a place of scarcity. In in Bible, in the biblical story, you have two times where, well, there's more than two. There's two of the big times of the desert experience. One of them is from the Exodus from Egypt into the Promised Land. But in there was a whole generation where the whole tribe of Israel was in the desert, in a place of stagnancy, in a place of uh, of of, of scarcity. Eventually, that situation changed, but during that time period, it was painful for them, and so it requires courage. But that just because you feel like nothing has happened doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Doesn't mean that at all. What these cards show is that there is a couple different things going on. Is that you may rekindle a new connection, a new love will come in your life, or your current love will rekindle itself, and you will become as though your love is new again. And this can happen. And so that's what these cards show. I don't know if these cards are accurate, if this is an accurate situation, but what it is saying is that right now, Shaw, you need to have courage, and you need to have courage to overcome the obstacles of the boredom that you're experiencing in this moment, the stagnancy. And but it will change. It will change eventually, and you will come into a new life where love is more vibrant, where everything is more vibrant. And so that's kind of what I see. That's what I see, and I'm going to move on to this one, to LC. And so we have a career and life oracle deck, and we're just going to move on with that. So if you are new here or old here, I have a automated moderator that called Nightbot that I signed up for, and it gives the rules and things like that. But the Nightbot does not like all caps, and so yeah. So I just letting you know, and so it just kind of lay down some general guidelines and so forth on how questions are to be asked. And so if LCYYJ2J, are you still here? Are you still here? Well, Maria, I do have an email address. I have another channel that I post content on. My channel has an email address, and I can show you where it's at if you want to know. This here is my other channel, Maria. I have a variety show channel. I do all kinds of random content on my other channel, which is going into my 5th year. I haven't really done a lot of stuff this year because I've I'm kind of tired, but I have a lot of stuff planned. This is my other channel, and I have I have stuff here. I have PayPal links. I have other things. I have my channel email address, books that I've published, and so forth. And so if I look at the video that that I produced this morning. This is my very latest video. I released that one today. Let me just collard greens from my garden. I am an artist. If you don't know, as a reader, I'm a new reader, but I'm a lifelong artistically minded person. I've been doing video stuff since the late 1990s. In the late 1990s, I had a cable access TV show in which I featured poets and artists in a town like 3 towns over from where I live now. And so I've been doing YouTube and I've been doing video stuff for a long time, a long, long time. And this is my latest video that I produced. Anyways, that's that. I have other things. I have I do called 999 show, and that's my I do not use a pendulum. I do not use pendulums. I do not use but what I do is I use books. Let me see, where is this live at? Because here we go. All right. It's LCCY's turn. There's one card popped out about making it work. Okay, so I'm gonna go and draw a few cards. So if you want to, and you feel moved, yeah, I don't have that many people to talk to either, Maria. But so LCCY, if you feel moved to tell me when to stop shuffling, I will stop shuffling. So and so this is just one that popped out. So if you feel the need for me to stop shuffling, I will stop shuffling. Otherwise, I will stop shuffling in just a moment. Okay, this is another card that just popped out. Okay, all right. And we have roll the dice, a journey, spiritual work. This is the second time that this card has popped up in that one. I'm going to take the very bottom one too, and we'll just go take a look at that one in just a second. And we'll take these, and so what these cards is telling me is that this is general career. It shows that you have a job already. That you already have a job. Or in that you need to, at the current time, you need to make this job work. LCYYJ2J. And it just may be the reason you need to make it work is because there's stuff going on in this part of the world that is wrecking the economy. And that would just be my 2 cents put in there. The stuff that's going on in this part of the world is wrecking the economy. Yeah. So you want to rise high. But at the current time, I think you got to make whatever you are doing, you got to make it work. But what this is also showing is that when the time is right, you need to put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. When you're going to put yourself out there, you're going to roll the dice. You're going to go for it. You got your dreams. You want to aim high. You want to maybe become the boss. You want to become self-employed. You're going to roll the dice and you're going to just go for it. You're going to go on a journey. When you go to this new place, you're going to go on this journey. And if it's like self-employment, you're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to make it work. You'll have to do what it takes to make it work. If you can make your current job work, you can make your future jobs work. Because you have a limited amount of time, because when you run between 50 and 60, you're going to run out of steam. Everybody runs out of gas. They run out of gas when they cross over 50. Some people are, they have they're more hyperactive and they can push through and they can keep on going and they can rise higher and higher and higher into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then, so you're going to have to take care of your body. You're going to have to make sure that you don't get diabetes. You're going to have to make sure that you don't get heart disease. You don't get the high blood pressure. You don't get heart disease. You're going to have to take care of your body, because the diabetes will take you down. It'll take you down many, many notches. So you're going to have to watch out for those types of things that are common in human beings. And the prediabetes, the diabetes, the heart disease, that's the high blood pressure, and the clogged arteries, and all those other things. Those are things that you got to watch out for, because if you want to rise higher and higher and higher, and you want to be able to still be energetic in your 50s, those are the things that you really got to work on your body. But then these cards are also kind of say that you got some inner work to do. So before you roll the dice and you go on this journey to rise higher and higher, you need to really work on your interior world and figure out why it is that you want to do what you want to do. What is the reason? What is the reason? So at the current time, you're stuck, and so you got to make it work. And you got to make it work. And the reason you got to make it work is because of this crap that's going on in this part of the world. 20% of the oil supply in all these other things comes out of the Persian Gulf. Some people get all of their oil out, the petroleum and energy out of the Persian Gulf. Now, in the United States, I don't know where you're from. In the United States gets all of its petroleum off of the American continent. It gets 10% from Texas, and then 80%. The rest of it comes out of Mexico, and it comes out of Canada. I think it's like 70% comes out of Canada. It comes out of that because the United States refineries can only do heavy crude. They can't. But anyways, that's another story. That may be a short-term pain, because who knows how long this conflict is going to go on. We don't know how long this conflict is, and none of us have any control over the outcome of what's going to happen. And so, but I throw that out there because it is governing the economy right now. It governs the economy more than you know. It governs the economy more than you know, not just here, but everywhere. Everywhere is affected by that war that's going on in the Persian Gulf. Okay, I've said my piece. So what you are in this period right now is you're in this period of ups and downs. Now, I don't know if I really answered your question, LCYY, but what I am just getting just from this, you are in these ups and downs. You have to make things work. You have to make things work, and you're going to have to work on your interior life. And so that's what I got. But this here, like the Wheel of Fortune, you got to put yourself out there. If you want something different, you're going to have to roll the dice and put yourself out there and go on a journey. Okay? All right. I hope that that helps. But that's what I got for you. Now, I'm going to go on to Maria here. Maria has this question about her new boss and if her new boss. I had some other questions that came in, but I probably will not get to them today. Two more questions came in, I know. I will be right back because it's time for me to change the TV over. Oh, not that. I didn't. I turned the mute off. Okay, so we're gonna go to Maria, And as I was saying, was that now you can hear me? Okay. What I was saying was reentry. If anyone here, if you're like, if you're hooked on, if you're hooked on drugs, if you're hooked on, and you have a major addiction or something like that, um, that's in my opinion. In my opinion, you are probably going in the right direction, unless, of course. But my opinion would say, because I'm because this is me, because I'm a bit of a teetotaler or whatever you want to call it. If you are on drugs and alcohol, then you're probably not going in the right direction, because you are intoxicating your body and you're cutting yourself off from your spirit. And bad things always happen in one fashion or another when you do that. Okay, that I'm gonna get off my soapbox, and we're gonna go just look at for Maria here, and we're gonna look at what is the vibe of. Welcome, Karen. You're coming back. Okay, all right, good. So this is from Maria. We want to find out what is the vibe of her work situation. What is the relation? What is going on between her and her boss? What is going on between her and her boss? What is going on between Maria and her boss? We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. I'm going to take the very bottom card here. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Being that you work in, well, not a man, but it may be some masculine energy coming in here. So your boss is acting as an authority figure. A lot of females. So maybe under the surface, Maria, under the surface, there are some issues that are going on that are beyond your control, but they're going on that are making it difficult for the bosses. So a good boss will shield their employees from issues that are not their concern, She's very mean with you. Okay. So a good boss, so if the company's going broke, they're not going to take it out on the employees. If a company has like a major lawsuit levied against it, maybe the company has the hospital or whatever has a legal issue that they have to resolve, and it's causing the bosses a lot of stress. So for you feel like the situation is hopeless. Maybe there is some hopelessness that's going on in the situation, but there's this masculine energy that is coming in and laying down the law. So there's like so maybe the boss is being mean because somebody is laying down the law on your boss, and that boss is taking that out on everything else. So there's no nurturing going on, no mentoring. So this is what is going on in this. This is just the cards that popped up, Maria. I don't. They may not apply. They may not apply to you. Apply to the situation. What does this last card say? Huh. It almost feels like these cards don't apply. Let's go just do a little bit here. What is going on in this relationship? I don't know. I mean, these cards don't make sense. I'm going to just draw a few cards. Well, it kind of seems that it doesn't seem like it's bad, Maria. It may just be, it's a matter of perspective. A matter of perspective. So your boss is mean to you, or your boss is taking things out on you. From these cards, I don't know, Maria. I don't know if they really make sense. I don't know if they make sense. Do they? They probably don't make sense in this situation. So she may feel threatened. There's some, you know. So they don't make sense. They don't make sense. So what the cards show is that this situation is not as bad as what you may feel that it is. This situation is not as bad as what you feel it is. So this boss, and but it could just be this. The other one I showed was a Rider-Waite deck. It just could be that there's some kind of a thing going on underneath the surface that is getting in, that where you have something is going on beneath the surface, and that's kind of what these cards may suggest. I don't know. Let's just try. Well, what about your boss? Maybe your boss is partying up and doing stuff like that. Maybe the boss is doing that. I don't sharing. I don't know. I don't know that. So Maria, I think that I don't know. Maybe you need to share. Sharing more of yourself on the job is probably not such a great thing, because you have somebody that's being mean to you. I think what I got here from this, Maria, is that your boss is trying to guide you. Is trying to guide you to be better. Is to be better. But maybe it's this boss is trying to guide you in a way that will not, in a way that does not stroke your ego. Okay? Your boss is not stroking your ego. Your boss is not being a nurturing person. Your boss is not sharing emotions when she is correcting your behaviors. But your boss is trying to make you into a better employee. And so you see the temperance card. You have this mixing together of different elements, and you mix these different elements together, and what you get out of it is something new. Something new comes out of the temperance. And you're looking at here, you become more of a master of your skills. So your boss is maybe it's a pessimism. It feels unhappy. The situation feels unhappy. It feels isolating. It doesn't feel like a party. It doesn't feel nurturing, but it may just be that. So it's just a part-time job. Well, anyways, I think this is what I got from this. This is what came into my mind, is that your boss is trying to guide you to be better. Your boss is trying to guide you into being better. Okay. Thank you for the sub, Karen. But at the same time, Maria, there are some other issues that are going on in underneath. So when I saw the card of legal, I was thinking, well, maybe there's lawsuits that are being levied against the organization. Okay, we'll ask the question. Does Maria's boss like her? Okay. All right, let's ask that question. Straightforward. All right. 3 cards. Does Maria's boss like her? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You didn't. It's not a bother, Karen. It's not a bother at all. There's just a list here. So it doesn't look like your boss likes you at all. You didn't bother me, Karen. I was just I have the list here. So your boss doesn't like you. So it looks like a big no. Your boss doesn't like you. So maybe that's why she's mean to you. She's trying to like you, but. And what do we have? 17, 8, 10, 13. Let's see. 5, and that's 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 22. So it's the relationship is in a place of imbalance. The relationship is, why doesn't she like you? So hostility, latent hostility, self-deception, and pessimism. So it's this person has a pessimistic outlook. They tolerate. They have a latent hostility within them, and there's some self-deception going on. So why? Okay, why doesn't the boss like you? So why doesn't the boss like her? Why doesn't the boss like her? Well, the boss is anxious about something and is a generally unsupportive person because they feel emotionally depleted. And there is a bunch of internal conflict going on. Maybe what's going on, Maria, is that your boss needs to let somebody go. I don't know. But we have this a happy family, but there's of a why this person doesn't like you. They don't like you because they are just basically they're not a very supportive person. They are in a place of mental conflict, and I think that seems to be what some of the other cards showed. There's a bunch of anxiety, but then there's this seeking of spiritual or a fulfillment here. But maybe you don't need to be looking for fulfillment on your job. Maybe that's not the place to find it at. Okay, well, let's ask that question really quick, and then we're going to have to move on. So is the boss mentally stable? Is the boss mentally stable? Probably, most likely, yes. The boss is most likely mentally stable. I don't know what to say, Maria. I mean, it's an extra job, it's extra money. You know, there's no requirements that a boss has to like you. I mean, there's no requirements there at all. Maybe this boss doesn't like anybody. Maybe the boss doesn't like anybody at all. Where did Karen had a question, I know. I'm going to have to go fast. I'm actually in the I'm going to get in trouble category here. Somebody's going to start yelling at me pretty soon. I don't know if Karen had a question. Okay, all right. If Karen has a question, we will get to you the next time. So, does Trooper love me? We're going to come here for Prudence. I don't know if Prudence is still here. Prudence is still here, but we're going to answer the question anyway. For Trooper, okay, all right. Does Trooper love me? All right, I mixed the cards up. We're just going to go, I have to go fast. It's hard for me to go fast. Does Trooper love Prudence? 2 cards popped out. – All right. And does Trooper still love Prudence? I'm going to take this card right here. It looks like Trooper does still love you. It's not, there is some, it's a yes, but it's questionable. So the Lover's card has popped up here. There is attraction that is here, but there's a sense of temperance. And this temperance card keeps coming up here today. So there's the mixing of different elements that are there. The mixing, but there's also this sense of a need to improve, the need to improve your skill set. So I wonder what that is. I think it's probably communication. This is a 3. So your down number is a 3, and that's actually your communication number. Communication, expression. So Prudence, somebody needs to really work on their communication skills here. And we have this other one, 20. So you have a balance. There's a balance in your relationship. There's a balance here between the yin and the yang and the male and the female. Between these elements, this stuff is in balance. So this is not a bad relationship. I think this is a good relationship. But there's this issue. So Prudence, the cards are saying that you really need to work on self-expression. You need to work on communication. And I'm going to write Karen's question down so we don't lose anything. At Karen, KarenSaVoie 5757. Okay? So yes, there is love there, but you got to work on some stuff. Okay, let's go on to re-entry. And we're going to just do a 3. Oh no, my cards just flew out of here. All right. I didn't lose any. I didn't write the question down, but that's fine. I'll write it down here in a second. You want to find love again. Okay, this is for re-entry. We are going to just do a general 3 card. General 3 card. Is re-entry going in the right direction? Mary, Mother of God, angels, guides, Mary Magdalene. Re-entry wants to know if they are going in the right direction. Are they going in the right direction? Is re-entry going in the right direction? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, these are the cards. Well, it looks like you may need to do a direction change here. So according to here, re-entry, you may need to change directions. And what you got going on is that you're too absorbed into yourself and you're getting bored. So whatever's going on is the direction you're going on is getting boring for you. And you have this sense of memories. You're spending too much time in nostalgia, and that may be looking at your youth, looking at the past, and that, and comparing your present to your past is causing you distress. 14, 15, 16, 17, 21, 22. Okay. So we're looking at you have some foundational issues here. Your foundation is cracked. You have to work on your foundation. The foundation of your life is crumbling. And then we have this other thing of, if we're looking at what you need to work on, you need to work on peace, harmony, and love. So, love of self, reentry, love of neighbor, love of God, making peace in your relationship. And that, by working on the love angle, you will help to build up your foundation. But what it shows here in just this, in these cards here, is that you're getting bored and you're spending too much time in isolation, lonely, and you need to work on your spiritual life. You need to work on your spiritual life. Okay? So the question, so you need to work on. Well, I got this here. I got this in here twice. So you need to work on love, work on spirit life, on your spirit life. Okay? Okay, reentry, this is what I got. You got to work on your foundation, the foundation of your spiritual life. Work on loving others. Work on loving yourself. Work on building bridges, making peace, bringing harmony into your relationships. Okay? That's what I got for you. All right, let's go move on. Let's move on to this one, and then we have Karen. Okay, and Karen, and then I think we're gonna just barrel through here. And Karen is asking the question: will Karen find love? Will Karen find love? I'm just going to put it just like that. And is Jazz still here? Is Jazz still here? Guidance reading. What does Spirit want Jazz to know? I think I want to go to this Celestial Insights deck. I want to go to this deck here. And we're looking at... All right, Jazz. This is an upright deck. And so Jazz wants to know... Jazz wants to know... Jazz wants to know... What does Spirit want Jazz to know? What does Spirit want Jazz to know? Mother Mary, be with us now. What does Spirit want Jazz to know? What does his spirit, what does Jazz's spirit want Jazz to know? What does Jazz need to know right now? What does Jazz need to know right now? Jazz, would you like to tell me when to stop shuffling? Can you tell me when to stop shuffling, Jazz? So we can know what Spirit has to know. Just tell me. Just tell me when. Okay, I have stopped. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bottom card here. Well, look at that. The bottom card just happened to be gratitude. It just happened to show up of needing to have more gratitude in your life. Be grateful for what you have been given. And this isn't just for you. This stuff is hard. I used to do this. When I was going to mass like 5 times a week or more, I did at the end of the day have a litany of things that I was thankful for every day. I haven't really done that in a long time. But that's something that you need to work on, is having more gratitude. More gratitude. And look, here's spirit. Just to know that the spirit is always with you. Ask your angels. Ask your angels to reveal themselves in a dream. Spend time in the quiet, getting to know yourself, Jazz. Spend time away from the screen. Go on a walk. Go dancing. Learn how to dance. Do some activity where you're not thinking about tomorrow, you're not thinking about today, you're not thinking about yesterday, you're not thinking about all the little things you have to do. Some physical activity with other people can facilitate this process, Jazz. Spend time under a tree, your favorite tree. So you're in a lot of isolation right now. You can be in isolation but not be in isolation because you are working on your interior life. But you are in isolation and you are doing a lot of woe is me. You're thinking, woe is me, which is probably what I would think. So in this time period, Jazz, you need to have a lot more strength and know that you are stronger than you think you are. You have strength. And you are also have awakening potential into your life. Yeah, Jazz, you need to learn social dance. If you have that available to you, whether it be folk dancing, if you're a man, I don't know your gender, if you're a man, I would recommend any form of dance that is caller based. So like call and response, like your caller says do-si do and you do-si do. Your caller says, make you swing and you swing your partner around. The caller says Petronella turn and you're or whatever, or that's contra dance, or that's square dancing, caller based dance, or it's English country dancing. Some form of caller based dancing, and that's free, and it's physical. It's physical. And it helps you to get out of your head, and you're with other people. And for a moment you won't feel so isolated. It's not necessarily jazz. So that's what I recommend for men, is to learn contra dance, because you don't necessarily have to come with a partner. If you live on the East Coast of the United States, there's lots of contra dance on the East Coast. Contra dance came from France and England in the 1500s. So it's an old form of dance. I'm sure that it exists in Europe, if you are in Europe. And so jazz, I don't know where you're at, but learning some form of social dance where you do not need to bring a partner, and where you're just going to go, you're going to listen to the music, you're going to move, you're going to be there with other people. Maybe you're thinking about romance, but I wouldn't I don't know. My experience with contra dance is that like 70-80% of the people are married, and it is not a hookup place, but it is a good place to learn who you are, Jazz. And that's the most important thing, is you want to awaken that potential within yourself. You feel lonely, you feel isolated. But for a short time, you know, an hour or two a month, an hour or two a week, you won't feel so lonely. You won't feel so isolated. And you got to give yourself time, because you might be healing from something that's really a deep woundedness within you. But doing that physical activity. Now, maybe you're not into dance. Maybe you're into sports. And that's fine too. If you're like into sports, then join a team. Join a team. If it's like, if you live in the States, most cities have bowling leagues, and bowling leagues are great because you get to connect up. If it's within your hometown, you get to connect up with people you went to high school with. But I don't know where you live. I don't know what kind of sports you have, but something like that. Something like sports, some kind of activity that involves other people. That's my prescription for you. You need to do that. Don't and what social media platform do you spend the most time on? I mean, other than YouTube, YouTube doesn't have that same addicting quality to it as like Instagram and TikTok does. And Instagram has this really, to me, I actually deactivated my Instagram accounts. I do have a TikTok account, but I only use it as a video editor for my two YouTube channels. So you just do mostly astrology on YouTube. Okay. So limit your social media activity, because if you on those other limit your social media time, limit your screen time, and spend more time with other people outside of work. Okay, that's my prescription for you. I hope that helps. I'm going to move on to Karen, because Karen is the last person I have for today, and then I got to go start making dinner. You're welcome. And if you want a reading with a really in-depth psychic, I recommend Tarot Ask Backwards. Of course, the last time I asked Tarot Ask Backwards to do a reading for me, I had to have him stop because it was too sometimes some people are, yeah. Anyways, I do mostly cards. Okay, Karen, are you still there? We're gonna go and clear the air, because I've talked about dance one too many times today. Let's see, we are a 8 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, Karen. Mother Mary, Karen has a question. Karen wants to know if she will find love again. Will love find Karen again? Will love find Karen again? All right. Karen, you're the last question for the day. All right, Karen. I don't know if you're still here, but I'm going to shuffle for you. Will love find Karen again? 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 4, 3, 2, 1. These are your cards, Karen. What I see, Karen, is when I see is that there is some exhaustion here. Exhaustion for the search. You've been searching for love for a long time. And it feels like you're not going to get it. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're not going to get love. It feels like there's like you're trying to manipulate, there's some manipulation. So we got this fool or the magician in the reverse form, like and that the word that kind of, I guess, it's like you're tired, but at the same time there's a desire to try to manipulate spirit for you to find love. But then there's a sense of this seeking clarity, seeking truth. I see her here. Seeking clarity in this situation. And the answer with this is, in a basic sense, is that it's possible that you will find love. It's possible, but at this moment in time, it's not likely you will find love in this exact moment in time. I'm going to just couch it this way. We're looking at this exact moment in time, 10, and so what we have here is, what we got is there is this, you need to change. Some change has to be made. A change has to be made because you're stuck. You're stuck in place. You're stuck in place. And you're trying to go forward, but you're stuck. And what seems to be behind this stuckness is you're tired. or you're too guarded. You're behind your defenses, and you've been hurt a lot. You've had a lot of hurt. Maybe you've been manipulated in a man or someone has manipulated you too much. And being in this place, you just don't want to move forward. So, what kind of changes you need to make in your life? And so, what you might do, Karen, is to spend some time journaling. Spend some time with pen and paper asking the question, why? Why? Why am I here? What am I supposed to learn right now? Why? Why am I guarded? Why am I tired? What kind of trickery is going on here? When you look in the mirror, what do you see, Karen? What do you see when you look in the mirror? When you look at your face, you look at your body, when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Write that down and ask the question, why do you feel that way? Do you look in the mirror and see a beautiful creation of God? When you look in the mirror, do you see what your parents saw when you first arrived? For a brief moment in time, Karen, you were the most beautiful person your mother and your father, if they were together in that moment, laid their eyes on. Maybe the most beautiful person that your mother laid eyes on for that moment in time when you were first born, when you first arrived. When you look in the mirror, why don't you feel that way too? What do you see when you look in the mirror? When you look at yourself, what do you see? Spend time journaling about that. If you can we ask what she sees? I think that's for her to answer the question of what does she see. I think that right now, Karen, you need to. I think, Maria, I think that you need to take some time away from thoughts about Philip. You haven't been with him for a year, about a year, and take some time away from obsessing over Philip. So that's just that's my honest opinion. And like I mentioned, the whole doing something physical like dance or like sports, that can give you a sort of a reprieve. And maybe Maria, so you have your own family, you just want to do that. So okay, do sports then. Do something with other people. I suppose I saw that in your neck of the word that there's like some sport in Finland called hobby horse. That seems kind of. I watched one of them. So you don't have anyone. So Karen, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's my recommendation for you that came into my mind is that you need to do some work, some mirror work. If you have some like major depressive issues or anything like that, then please go seek out. I've seen a therapist before, so I have an anxiety, a generalized anxiety problem, and I have gone to see therapists for that kinds of things. So I know that you're in Maria, that you're in Norway. Okay, so your mother passed away recently. I get you. So, Karen, you might need to just spend some time thinking about you need some time right now. Your mother just passed away, and grief makes people do strange things. Grief makes people do strange things. And that's all I'm going to say is that when we lose our parents, I lost my dad, and it for a short time you kind of go insane in your head. It go insane in your head. There's like some insane. It's if you need to see a counselor about your grief. And you haven't found a match. Well, you have been to several therapists, yeah. So I have to go make dinner now. I'm going to probably be back on Monday or Tuesday. Tomorrow I'm going to be at a family reunion. And I wanted to thank and I got through everybody too. So if you have a question, you go MK. Never mind. Okay, I will start with the question on Tuesday. Most likely Tuesday. And I'll tell you why. It's like I do sometimes come on Monday, but for many years my days off are Monday and Tuesday, and I have these rhythms. Monday just feels like a day off because I have though I'm not old enough to be retired, I call myself a retired bartender because that was the last job that I did. Was I worked in a casino as a bartender before I started taking care of my mother as a caregiver. No, I'm not a nurse. I'm I'm not a doctor either. I'm not a nurse or a doctor, but I am I am a cook. I have two dogs I need to cook for, and I have my mother that I need to cook for. It is 7 o'clock here, and um, I got that task to do right now. So I gotta stop. I gotta stop reading for today, and I have I really have to do that, and I have an early day tomorrow, and I'll be doing like a 200-mile drive to go to a family reunion. So, Karen, I've been reading on this channel for a little over a year, but Karen, I've been doing content on this channel I'm going into my 5th year of doing content on this channel. What I had done a lot in the past is I'm doing some random videos on my new dog. I'm kind of shifting content again. I done a lot of, there's on the cows. Oh, my volunteer job, and I've done a lot of art. So if I look at the most popular video, the most popular video that I ever did was this one, where I got almost 10,000 views 2 years ago. And so this was something that I did like 2 years ago. I demolished this mask. So that's my other channel, but that's not all. I have my walls of discarded art. So 10 years ago, I did other channels. I had other channels. I still have a few of those very, very bad videos on that I left up. So like putting sets up in my barn and doing stuff. I come back here to go remind myself of how bad I was as a content creator. But I did that stuff. It was fun. Another channel. Going back 10 years. I've been doing YouTube essentially for 10 years now. These are my other 2 channels, and all kinds of random things that, like this one, I don't expect any of you guys to come over here, and those are my dormant channels. So dormant channels, but right now I have 2 active channels, and this one here, I've been doing readings for just a little over a year. I started doing tarot 3 years ago. Started learning 3 years ago, and that's the way it is. And so we have that channel, and then I have this channel here is Tools of Fortune, and Tools of Fortune is the only one that I have niched down, and it's just doing that and that. And so this was my today, and I have, it goes back a little over a year. And that's it. That's my my YouTube thing. I am doing. So we're gonna just leave with this. This came from my friend Sarah. She has 2 channels. I have a lot of good. Yeah, that's me. And so this is the positive alien. I may be a tiny alien, but I believe in you. You're out of this world amazing, and that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. I really do need to carry on with my duties. I'm going to put the candle out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's for me in my younger days. I'll show, I have another picture. I was going to use that one too, but my dog. Oh yeah, see, this was like me in my younger days too. Yes, I was just barely 21. I think I was 20. 20, yeah, I was 20 years old in this picture. And then this was this girl I was with. You don't see me? This is me when I was 20. All right, that's all I'm going to give you guys. I got to go. Now I'm just an ugly old man. I just look like an old salt here with this beard. Anyways. Yes and no. She was only in America for 1 month, and we kind of hung out a little bit. You have a little dog named Emily. Yeah. Yeah, I got my two little dogs. I gotta go feed them. I gotta go feed my mama, and um, and I gotta do this because it's 7 o'clock here. I'm on the West Coast. Thank you. It was nice to meet you, Karen, and thank you very much, Maria, and for everybody else that I got a chance to read for today. And I'll see all y'all the next time. All right, blessings and peace to you, and we'll see you the next time, most likely Tuesday. Bye bye. All right. All right. Thank you guys very much. Bye bye.